Alright, good evening. Let's see about maybe making the camera work. There we go. Alright. Ping, 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 ping. Donrus 2023 half case. Number 2 for my accounting purposes. These are out of a sealed case. I just don't have enough room up here really to massage things around. The list on the left should be accurate as far as who has who. I do appreciate all the bids. Hopefully, these are as good as the last 10 at a minimum. So, with that said, there will be a recap at the end, since this is kind of a grind for me. And I'm not always the most entertaining person, I don't think. And it is late at night for a lot of people, including me. So anyhow, enough rambling, here we go. Everything does ship. There is a full case on eBay, I think ends on Tuesday. So, in that one, everything but the plain white base ships. But that'll be a full 20-box case if anybody is interested. Code cards. Hopefully I don't forget like I did the last time. If anybody wants them, get posted up in chat, and then I will split them up evenly for those that want them. Jake, Drew, Ron, $5. If you're so inclined. See, the race got moved to tomorrow, so not a whole lot to talk about, exciting-wise at least. Is the volume real quiet for everybody, or no? Seems like my meter is down a little lower than it usually is, for whatever reason. Alright, Ron, I'll get you wrote down here in a second. Alright, first 10 packs. And you are on the list, Ron. Thanks again. Here we go. Mr. Suarez, 73 out of 299. is our first numbered. Blaney on the Unleashed, and Cindric silver. Daniel Suarez, out of this world. Congrats on that, Willie. And a Larson gray. Briscoe on the Elite Gregson optic. Brandon Jones on the gray. Chastain under the lights. And Breidinger on the optic. Go back to Suarez out of 199 on the blue. Cindric Unleashed and Christopher Bell base optic. Swift League on the gray border. Ryan Blaney Elite Series. Danica silver. Our first relic is going to be for Austin Cindric with the base tire. That's a night, Chris. Bubba with the gray Diamond Kings under the lights for Blaney, and Takuma Koga on the optic. Another numbered Suarez out of 299. Petty Power Squad, and a Harvick Race King optic. Gray Stewart. Keselowski revved up. Austin Dillon optic. Kyle Busch with the gray border. Tony Stewart Power Squad, and a silver Petty. Ray Black is out of 199. Metal Masters for Kevin Harvick and Dale Jr. optic. Clements gray border. Christopher Bell 6 out of 10 on the Unleashed. That's there, Curtis. Set him up there for the moment. Petty here on the optic base. Tanner Gray. Unleashed for Kyle Busch and a Ty Gibbs optic to get us halfway through box 1. I had dreams of doing a full 20-box case with shipping everything, drivers, base, everything. I don't know that I can get anything on eBay anymore at this point. I can't remember if Saturday was the end date for all the breaks or not. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to wade in the whatnot swamp to keep on a trucking. Alrighty, second half of 1. John Hunter out of 299. And Truex on the Elite Series, Suarez silver. Oh, Gregson on the tire. 109 out of 250. With the red foil. Let's see here. No, we got Chad. Congrats there. Kurt Busch on the gray. Under the lights for Petty and Blaney on the optic. Junior on the personalities, 22 out of 75. That top right corner is not very personable, however. At least being a black card, you really don't see it unless you angle it under the light a little bit. But 22 out of 75. Right there, Tracy. Moffitt, gray. Unleashed for Denny and a Bowman optic. Enfinger rocking the hot pink, 20 out of 25. Congrats on that, Connie. Christopher Bell, Elite Series, Busher on the optic. Enfinger gray. Denny Hamlin under the lights with a Blaney silver. Menard gray. Stewart royalty. And a Bill Elliott optic. Denny Hamlin, 177 out of 299. This is a different case, Ron. Denny Hamlin revved up. And Harrison Burton, optic. The other one was piecemealed pretty bad between personal box sales and stuff. So we're going new on this one. 67 out of 99. Ty Gibbs. On the optic. Autograph. Yeah, I could go for a gold vinyl. There's a 67 out of 99. Chad, congrats on Ty. Alright, Custer on the gray. Keselowski, Power Squad. Race King optic for Chase. Race King's gray, McDowell. Petty, Metal Masters, Allgaier silver. Junior is 33 out of 49 on the purple. Then we got Chastain on the Unleashed and Cindric optic. Sheldon Creed gray. Truex Elite Series 184 out of 199. Chastain optic. And our last pack is a Chase gray. Byron Elite and Eric Jones optic. Start at number 2. Alright, box 2. Mr. Harvick, 18 out of 49 on the purple. And we got Kyle Busch, Power Squad, Suarez, silver. Watercolors for Bowman. Well, corners look fairly decent on it. Aaron, congrats. Danica on the gray border. Metal Masters for Logano and Truex Optic. Riley Herbst, gray. Tyler Reddick, Unleashed. And a Jake Drew, Optic. On the board, Ron. Harrison Burton, 51 out of 299. And Chase on the Elite Series and a Optic Race Kings for Mr. Busch. Cindric, gray. Under the lights for Kyle Busch with a Stewart, silver. Christopher Bell with the red tire, 130 out of 250. Congrats there, Curtis. Then we got Truex on the gray, Metal Masters for Larson and Junior Optic. Alex LeBay, 71 out of 99. And Kurt Busch, Elite Series with a Byron Optic. Keselowski, gray border. Gordon under the lights with a Keselowski Optic. Weatherman, gray. DW on the royalty with a Ty Dillon, silver. $41 out of $2.99. Kyle Busch. Jimmy revved up. And Edwards on the Optic. McDowell, gray. Kyle Busch is 21 out of 199 on the revved up. Denny Hamlin with the Optic. Should get us to a gray Logano. Kurt Busch Power Squad and McDowell on the Optic to get us halfway through 2. Alright, second half of 2. Another auto and relic. Starting to see a pattern here. Oops, easy there, killer. All right. Part 2 of 2. Elmarola. Door number 10 out of 99. A little extra sauce there. Congrats on that, Robert. And a Metal Masters for Kurt Busch and a silver for Kyle Busch. Eric Jones with a base tire relic. Congrats on that, John. Ben Rhodes with the gray. Alex Bowman Unleashed. And a Gregson Optic. Gray Race Kings for Petty. Junior on the Elite Series and Breidinger with the base Optic. Eric Gant, 29 out of 199 with the blue. Harvick still under the lights with a Chastain Optic. Harrison Burton, gray. Larson Unleashed and a Truex Race Kings silver. Keselowski, gray. Larson Elite and a base Optic Race King for Kurt Busch. $227 out of $299, Mr. Stewart. Chase under the lights with a Carl Edwards base Optic. And our auto is going to be for Mr. Ross Chastain. 52 out of 99 for Ross. That way to see it. I believe that is a 52 up there. Lance. Congrats on Ross. Jeff Burton on the gray. Junior Royalty and Larson Optic. Byron gray. Junior revved up and a silver for Bill Elliott. Out of 199 for William Byron. Blue. Gordon Power Squad. Casey Kane Optic. Parker Chase on the gray. Chastain Unleashed. 70 out of 199. With an Almirola Optic and the last pack out of box 2. It's a gray Stewart, Metal Masters for Kyle Busch, and a Michael McDowell Optic. Alright, moving on to 3. So, speaking of that Almirola card before, I think he's back next year. Stuart Haas has got to be just begging for sponsors at this point. I don't know that Josh Berry is the guy that's going to be a big income kind of draw, at least not initially. All right, box 3. Ryan Blaney. Dinged up lower right corner. You can kind of see the shine stays there when the light leaves. 76 out of 299. Metal Masters for Brad. Bonsignor. Nori on the optic. Bowman Gray. Elite Series for Cindric. Harrison Burton on the silver. Joey Logano on the tire. And you got Panini'd a little bit. Got a surface scratch or crease right down the center here. And whatever that is. 234 out of 250. I'll send a, I should probably write it down. I'll send a pack and a box and stuff. Maybe they can get you something back for that. Outside of that, congrats, Chad. Bill Elliott on the gray. Suarez under the lights. And Optic Race Kings for Junior. Mark Martin is 96 out of 99. Bill Elliott Royalty and a William Byron Optic. Newman Gray. Revved up for Kurt Busch and a Bubba Optic. Casey Kane Gray. Power Squad for Truex, Kurt Busch, silver. Harvick on the gray. Truex, Red Race King, 199 out of 299. Jimmy on the optic. Eric Jones, 42 out of 299. Elite Series for Kyle Busch and Danica, silver. Larson, Gray Race King, Austin Dillon Unleashed, and Almirola Optic. Flip the script here. Alex Bowman, 98 out of 250 on the tire. Congrats again, Aaron. Larson, gray. Tyler Reddick under the lights. And Eric Jones, optic. Castle on the gray. Chase Briscoe Unleashed with Deegan on the optic. Joey Logano's 268 out of 299. With a Kevin Harvick Power Squad and Reddick on the base optic to get us halfway through box 3. I'm just wondering who they're going to get to sponsor people. I mean, they're already running one self-funded car pretty much with Priest. Seems like if Almirola leaves, so does Smithfield. They just lost Bush. And that Bush paycheck had to have been enormous for Harvick. But I don't know. For some reason, I figure Custer will find his way back next year in some form or fashion. With the whole family connection and all. Alright, second half of 3. Speaking of Cole Custer, 131 out of 299. Austin Dillon, Under the Lights, Keselowski, Optic, Race Kings. Chase on the gray, Byron Unleashed, and a silver Parker Chase. Chastain, Race King, Reddick on the Elite Series, and Custer, Optic. Ty Gibbs on the purple, 32 out of 49 for Ty. Larson Under the Lights, Austin Dillon on the Optic. And our autos, speaking of Stewart Haas, Josh Perry. No numbers here for Josh. That's a net, Cynthia. Mike Snyder on the gray. Chase Elliott on the Power Squad with a DW Optic. Kurt Busch, Gray Race King, Tony Stewart, revved up, and a Larson Optic Silver Race King. Ooh, we're going to get 2 autos here, I think. Iwuji on the gray. The camera's over here. Ty Gibbs. Oh, that's what I thought was going to be the second auto, but 102 out of 299. You got me excited for the backwards card. Stenhouse on the Optic. Gordon Gray. Truex Metal Masters. Stewart Optic. Whole lot of base there. Riley Herp, 17 out of 49. Chase on the Unleashed. Logano Silver. And an Out of This World for Danica Patrick. That's a net, Justin. we got Jimmy in the gray. Logano Elite Series Hamrick Optic. LaJoy gray. Bowman under the lights. Kyle Busch Optic. And our last pack out of 3. Keselowski 193 out of 199. Junior Metal Masters and Larson on the Optic. My conspiracy theory on the Stewart-Haas is there's not much Stewart since they wouldn't let him sign Larson. So, I don't really know that he cares that much anymore about that team. You don't really, I guess, see him as a figurehead for that as much as he used to be. Now that he's got his drag team and SRX and all this other stuff going on. And Haas was pretty much garbage before he showed up. I could see where Ford likes Zane. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in a Wood Brothers car. That seems like Ford's darling entry vehicle kind of thing. Blaney was there for a while. Thought somebody, wasn't Logano or somebody there, or no? I know De Benedetto was there farting around, Paul Menard. I'd imagine Menard was there just for the checkbook. All right, number 4. Kurt Busch, gray. With the Bowman under the lights and Petty Optic. Bubba Wallace, 61 out of 299. Keselowski Metal Masters, Ty Gibbs Optic. Justin Allgaier, 49 out of 99. Getting the auto right away this time. Aaron, congrats on Justin. Then there's a Jimmy Gray, Cindric Elite Series, and Blaney Optic. Tanner Gray kind of got ate up by the machine. So did Truex. The rest of these guys, well, the corners are kind of crap. Denny Hamlin Gray. Suarez under the lights with a Ty Gibbs silver. Casey Kane gray under the lights for Mr. Reddick. And Bowman silver. Kyle Larson with the gold patch, 10 out of 25. That's one of the better relics you're going to get out of Donrus. That's on that, Tracy. Is it 10 out of 25 in the corner? Christopher Bell, Race Kings Gray, Unleashed for Briscoe and Chastain. Optics. 59 out of 299 for Brandon Jones. Rubbed up for Gordon. And Ty Gibbs, Optic. Vargas with the gray. Corey LaJoy, 15 out of 199. Denny Hamlin with the Optic. Taylor Gray, gray. Kyle Busch, Power Squad. Bowman, Optic. Jimmy with the green Race Kings, 29 out of 99. Metal Masters for Logano and Bill Elliott, silver. Bubba with the tire. Cynthia, congrats on that. Sunhouse Gray, Reddick Unleashed, and Busher on the Optic. Then we got John Hunter Gray, Chase Elliott Elite, and Parker Chase on the Optic to get us halfway through box 4. Alright, second half of 4. Here we go. Bill Jarrett, 33 out of 49. And a royalty for Bill Elliott and Alex Bowman on the Optic. Eric Kraus, gray. Sam Mayer is 153 out of 299. Chris Busher, Optic. Ray Black, gray. Kurt Busch is revved up with a Bill Elliott Optic. Sheldon Creed to 62 out of 299. We got Truex Power Squad with a Brian Blaney, silver. And my first blackout for Ty Gibbs. Didn't get any of the first 10 boxes I did. Congrats on that, Chad. Suarez, Gray. Junior, Metal Masters, Harrison Burton, Optic. Sam Mayer. With the gray border, Austin Dillon, Unleashed. Optic Race Kings for Chase. Mr. Keselowski with the red tire, 166 out of 250. Congrats on that, Chad. Landon Castle, gray. Under the lights for Haley. And a Suarez Optic. Jimmy, 61 out of 199. Then we got Denny Hamlin. Elite Series. Eric Jones Optic. Truex Gray. Logano under the lights. Keselowski Optic. Get down to the nitty gritty here. Austin Dillon Gray. Jimmy Royalty with a Busher Silver. Tanner Gray, 81 out of 99. Kyle Busch, Elite. And Cindric on the Optic and the last pack. Out of the box, Natalie Decker, Gray. Logano Elite and Petty, Silver. 4 down, 6 to go. Here we get some low-numbered autos or something up here besides what we got. Alright, start of box 5. Christopher Bell, gray. Under the lights for Junior, 51 out of 199. Optic Race Kings for Kyle Busch. Started off. Gray, Kurt Busch. Alex Bowman, Elite Series, and Junior on the optic. Chris Buescher, 77 out of 299. And Austin Dillon is Under the Lights. Stewart is a silver. And another blackout. This time Denny Hamlin. What did I get the last time? Blake Slates or something? Denny. Robert. Rats on it. Reidinger on the gray. Byron on the Unleashed. And Byron on the optic. Hamlin gray. Reddick Elite Series with a Keselowski optic. Danica 153 out of 199. Under the Lights for Kyle Larson. Edwards on the optic. Truex gray. Harvick Power Squad 93 out of 199. Chastain on the optic. Christopher Bell, Gray Race Kings. Bowman Under the Lights. Busch, Kurt on the optic Race King. Newman, 97 out of 299. And the Metal Masters for Brad. Silver. Race Kings for Truex. And another Eric Jones tire. 175 out of 250 on this one. That's again, John. Tanner Gray, gray. Cindric Elite Series, Edwards optic. Austin Dillon, gray border. Suarez Under the Lights with a Larson optic. Then we get Jack Wood, 7 out of 49. On the purple. Royalty for Bill Elliott and Casey Kane on the optic to get us halfway through box 5. Alright, second half of 5. Jack Wood gray. Chase Elliott on the Power Squad. And Ty Gillen silver. Chris Buescher on the base tire. Connie, congrats on the Chris. Ray Black Jr. on the gray border. Stewart, revved up. Denny Hamlin, optic. Larson out of 299. Kevin Harvick, Power Squad. And McDowell on the optic. DW, gray. Truex, Metal Masters, and Gregson, optic. Shift the chair over. I seem like I'm always off on the left on the camera. Sam Mayer, gray border. Chase Elliott, Unleashed. Kyle Busch, silver. Bubba Wallace, Hot Pink Race Kings, 15 out of 25. Congrats on that, Cynthia. Joey Logano Elite Series. And a Brightinger base optic. Busher gray. Revved up for Kurt. And Bill Elliott silver. Taylor Gray, gray. Power Squad for Truex and El Marola, base optic. Blaney 252 out of 299 on the red Race King. Junior Metal Masters McDowell on the optic. And our autos for Brad Keselowski, 24 out of 49 on the optic silver. Congrats there, Chad. Chase with the gray. Unleashed for Austin Dillon. Gregson optic. John Hunter gray. Kyle Busch elite. And Cindric silver. Justin Haley is 28 out of 99. Then we have an under the lights for Tyler Reddick and Tony Brightinger on the optic to get us through 5 boxes. All right, that was a kind of lackluster first 5 boxes. All right, water break over at the intermission. All right, second half. Got to be the best half. Off we go. Well, starting out better on auto-wise. 6 out of 99. Tony Bredinger. Justin, congrats there. Also start standing autos up here, get rid of the inserts. Casey Kane, gray. With an under the lights for Dylan and a Harvick optic. There the Bonnie, gray. Byron Unleashed and a Bowman silver. Sam Mayer, purple, 34 out of 49. With the Tyler Reddick Elite and DW Optic. Truex, gray, DW Royalty, 83 out of 199. And we got a Chase Optic. Natalie, gray. Larson under the lights, Stenhouse Optic. $233 out of $299 for Chase. Back to Chase with the Power Squad and Chris Buescher, silver. Chase with the Blake Slate. That's there, Craig. Vargas on the gray. Stewart on revved up. Chase Briscoe optic. Buescher gray. Harvick Power Squad and Hemrick on the optic. Brandon Jones, 97 out of 99. Followed up with the Metal Masters from Truex and an optic for Truex. Stenhouse gray. Chase Elliott Unleashed, Bill Elliott silver. Brandon Jones on the base tire. Congrats on that, Lance. We got Sheldon Creed gray, Joey Logano Elite, and an optic Race Kings for Keselowski. Mark Martin, 130 out of 199. Under the lights for Bowman. And Cole Custer optic will get us halfway through 6. 2 packs left. Okie dokie. Part 2 of box 6. Joey Gase, gray. Keselowski and Austin Dillon. Denny Hamlin, gray. Cindric, elite and silver. Austin Dillon, 225 out of 299. With a line all the way up and down. Suarez under the lights, DW on the optic. Petty, gray. Larson, 8 out of 25. Cracked Ice Power Squad. Congrats again, Tracy. And a Reddick optic. Boyer on the gray. Royalty for Bill Elliott and Stenhouse on the optic. Eric, 72 out of 99. And Kurt Busch revved up. Chastain, silver. Our third tire piece for Eric Jones. Congrats again, John. Wallace Allen, gray. Truex, Power Squad and Stewart optic. Harrison Burton. Junior on the Metal Masters and Hemrick on the optic. Mike Snyder is 104 out of 199. Austin Dillon is unleashed with a Kyle Busch optic. Haley Deegan, gray. Kyle Busch, Elite Series, Eric Jones, silver. Blaney on the gray. Reddick, under the lights, and Monsignor for the optic. And the last out of 6 is a Gordon Red, 226 out of 299. Chase Briscoe on the Unleashed and Dale Jr. Race King optic. Interesting look on the back of Ty. And Harrison must have ran out of red ink. All these are looking kind of snotty on the back. Logano's missing half the lighting. Alright. Last pack of the first half of 7. Everybody seems to be backwards. Okay. That's all it's going to be. Then we're going to go back the other way. Bell, Gray. Chastain, 2 out of 10 on the Unleashed. That explosion pattern. Since the cards are questionable, this box, we'll take a look. But 2 out of 10 here for Ross. Congrats again, Lance. It's a couple out of 10 Unleashed we had here. Alright, Busher, Optic. Kurt Busch, Gray. And again, it's been miscut. You can see the red on the bottom. And really bad off centering on the back. Chase Briscoe, Elite. Parker Chase, Optic. Cole Custer, 184 out of 299. Under the Lights for Chastain and Truex, silver. And another blackout. This one for Kevin Harvick. That's a net type. At least a little something. Brightinger on the Gray. Cindric Unleashed. And Optic Race Kings for Larson. Denny Hamlin, another one. You can maybe see the red border on the bottom. Blaney and the Elite, Logano on the Optic. And the Optics are the ones that are missing stuff on the back. Parker Chase, 38 out of 99. Under the Lights for Blaney and Harrison Burton, Optic. Truex on the Gray. And Elite Series, 59 out of 199. Not that one, not yet. Stewart, Optic. Christopher Bell, Gray. Under the Lights for Petty and Ty Dillon, base Optic. Allgaiers, 65 out of 199. And Denny Hamlin Unleashed. Dale Jr., silver. Josh Berry, 34 out of 250 on the tire. Forgot who had Josh again. Cynthia, congrats. Tanner Gray, Gray. Christopher Bell, Elite, and Kyle Busch on the Optic. Austin Dillon, Gray. Denny Hamlin, Under the Lights. Truex on the Optic. I don't think there's any particular reason these guys are backwards. And we got Suarez, 215 out of 299. Stewart Royalty, and Bill Elliott Optic. Get us halfway through 7. Oops. Push that out. Yeah, hopefully Panini here in a, where's my camera at? In the near future, could work on the quality just a touch, since they won't have to worry about printing probably 80% of their print run once Fanatics takes over everything. Especially if they're going to add another racing release to the yearly calendar, allegedly. Alright. Last of 7. Jack Wood, gray. Petty, Power Squad, and Jake Drew on the silver. Another relic for Brandon Jones, base tire. Congrats again, Lance. Ray Black on the gray. Keselowski on the revved up, and Kurt Busch optic. Kyle Busch, 81 out of 199. Power Squad for Stewart, Danica on the optic. DW, gray. Metal Masters for Harvick, Reddick, optic. Sam Mayer on the gray. Kyle Busch Unleashed, and Silver Race Kings. $100 out of $299. Kyle Busch on the red. Elite Series for Truex, Suarez optic. Chris Buescher, gray. Revved up for Denny. Byron, silver. Taylor Gray, gray. Power Squad for Keselowski and Cindric on the optic. $84 out of $199 for Noah Gragson. Metal Masters, Petty, Danica, optic. Kyle Busch, 19 out of 49 on the Race Kings auto. Well, that's better. Tracy, congrats on Kyle. Chase Elliott on the gray. Chastain Unleashed, Petty, optic. John Hunter, gray. Byron, elite. Keselowski, silver. Chase is 13 out of 49. Under the lights for Bubba. And Suarez on the optic to get us through box 7. Yeah, I heard the rumors too that Panini was going to get bought out by Fanatics, but I don't know. Then it seemed like they hosed that up, and I guess it sounds like the Fanatics just hired the people they wanted to hire from Panini. They got all the licenses, so now I don't really know, I guess, the draw for Fanatics unless Panini sold for, pennies on the dollar. Outside of maybe some other soccer licensing, they got Premier League and like a couple other items. Then I had heard that Fanatics bought Leaf, or at least Brian Gray out, allegedly. But that don't make sense to me either, so. All right, number 8. Mr. Petty, 183 out of 199. Haley Deegan, haven't said that name much. On Under the Lights with a Kevin Harvick optic. McDowell, gray. Bubba, elite. Byron, silver. Enfinger, gray. Metal Masters for Chase. Ty Dillon on the optic. Justin Allgaier, hot pink out of 25. We got here 9 out of 25 for Justin. Brad, Under the Lights, Race King optic for Logano. Austin Cindric with a little rubber. That's an Austin Chris. Paul Menard on the gray. Ross Chastain Elite Series. And Christopher Bell on the optic. Corey LaJoy, 105 out of 299. Gordon, Metal Masters, Custer on the optic. Kyle Busch, gray. Suarez, Unleashed, and Bonsignori on the silver. 126 out of 299 for Jimmy. And you got Harvick Elite Series and Larson on the optic. Stewart Gray. Daniel Suarez Elite Series 125 out of 199. Jimmy optic. Tanner Gray, Byron under the lights, Almirola on the optic. Bubba 107 out of 199. Rusty Royalty Silver Race Kings for Junior. Kurt Busch, Gray. Joey Logano, Unleashed. And Todd Gilliland Silver will get us halfway through box 8. Here the glue got away from them. All right, last half of 8. Ooh, Harvick is an auto. Base auto for Kevin. Surprise. That's an at type. No numbers there. I didn't even notice the autograph line there from Panini. And we got Jake Drew on the gray. Reddick on the Elite Series and optic for Kyle Busch, Race King. Suarez, gray. Larson, under the lights. Jimmy, silver. $11 out of 49. Joey Logano on the purple. And a powered up, or power squad, Chase Elliott and Dale Jr. on the optic. Bubba 107 out of 299 with the red. Byron is unleashed with the Jake Drew optic. LaJoy gray. Bowman Elite, Larson silver. Allgaier on the gray. Under the lights for Dylan. Truex Optic. $33 out of $199 for Jimmy. Harvick is unleashed on top of Todd Gilliland. Optic. Danica Gray. Metal Masters for Denny. Briscoe on the Optic. Eric Almirola, 144 out of 250 with the tire. Congrats there, Robert. Sheldon Creed, Gray. Power Squad for Logano, Justin Haley on the Optic. Joey Gase, 246 out of 299. And a Kyle Busch revved up. Bubba Wallace, silver. Chase, gray. Petty, royalty, Chase on the regular Optic. And the last out of 8 is a Cole Custer gray. Metal Masters for Kevin. 95 out of 199. And a Jimmy Optic. And then there was 2. Alright, number 9. Where's the good stuff? Kind of hoping, Ron, your gold vinyl comes to fruition here at this point. Alright, here we go. Lucky number 9. Deegan, gray. Byron Unleashed, Bill Elliott Optic. And 2. Tony Breininger, silver. On the auto, that would be 2 of them here tonight for Tony. $83 out of $99. Again, congrats, Justin. Harvick on the gray. Harvick on the Unleashed. And Blaney Optic. Ben Rhodes gray. Elite for Bowman, silver, Bubba Wallace. Jesse Iwuji, 66 out of 199 with a soft lower right corner. Under the lights for Austin Dillon with an Alex Bowman optic. Ty Gibbs, gray. Under the lights for Junior, 68 out of 199. Chris Buescher, optic. Joey Gates, 296 out of 299. And Reddick, Elite Series, Larson, silver. And my first badge of honor. Bow tie for Jeff Gordon. Where's Jeff hanging out at? Malachi. Congrats on that. All right, Briscoe with the gray. Kyle Larson and Harrison Burton on the optic. Race Kings Kyle Busch, gray. Chase Elliott, Power Squad, and Race King optic. '93 out of 199 for Brad. Stewart, revved up. Cindric on the optic. Landon Castle, gray. Harvick, Power Squad, Jimmy, silver. And our next tire is going to be for Christopher Bell. Base variety. Again, congrats, Curtis. Stenhouse on the gray. Metal Masters for Truex and Chastain, optic. And the first half of box 9 is going to end with a Ty Gibbs out of 299. Chase Elliott, Unleashed, and Eric Jones, optic. All right, last of box number 9. Jimmy with the gray. Logano Elite Series Keselowski Optic. Christopher Bell, gray. Bowman, Under the Lights, silver Almirola. Jeremy Clements, 102 out of 199. Keselowski, Metal Masters, Ty Gibbs, Optic. Koga, on the gray. Harvick, Power Squad, 80 out of 199. Denny Hamlin on the Optic. And a personalities for Jimmy Johnson. Let's see here. Jimmy John, congrats on that. Harmon on the gray. Elite Series Cindric. And Bowman on the Optic. Ben Rhodes Purple, 9 out of 49. Then Suarez, like the third or fourth time we've seen that one. And Eric Jones, silver. Speaking of Eric Jones, have some more tire. 40 out of 250 for Eric. I think this is the third or fourth tire relic for Eric here tonight. But again, congrats, John. Bill Elliott, gray. Bill Elliott, royalty. And Chris Buescher, optic. Hemrick on the gray. Revved up Kurt Busch, Parker Chase on the optic. Parker Chase red, 217 out of 299. Truex on the Power Squad. Larson, Optic Race Kings. Harmon, gray. Metal Masters, Earnhardt and Haley Deegan, silver. Jimmy, gray. Austin Dillon, Unleashed. Joey Logano on the Optic. And the last pack out of box 9. 16 out of 199. Blue Race Kings for Brad. Kyle Busch, Elite. And Harrison Burton, Optic. All right, last chance. All right. Box number 10. Give us a little magic, please. And our auto right off the top. It's going to be Ty Gibbs. I think this is the second auto for Ty. All right, 73 out of 99 is going to be most likely our final auto. And again, congrats, Chad. Jimmy on the gray. Larson, Elite Series, Bubba Wallace, Optic. That mustache is not a good look. Reddick, gray. Chase, Under the Lights, and silver. Petty, 143 out of 199. And Royalty for Junior, and Logano on the Optic. Bowman, gray. Under the Lights for Kyle Busch, 165 out of 199. Harvick, Optic. Race Kings for Bowman. Junior is revved up, and DW is an Optic. Harrison Burton, 65 out of 299. Gordon, Power Squad, Justin Haley, silver. Other watercolors. Kyle Busch on this one. Congrats there, Tracy. Sit him next to Alex down here. Got a Newman gray, Metal Masters for Kyle Busch and Chase. Optic. Biffle gray, Blaney Unleashed and Stenhouse Optic. $18 out of $2.99, Jeff Gordon. Elite for Chase Briscoe and Optic. Kevin Harvick gray, Chastain Under the Lights, Briscoe silver. Our next relic is for Chris Buescher with the base tire. Congrats again, Connie. Matty D on the gray, Cindric Unleashed, Hamrick Optic. And we get Boyer, 2 out of 199. Fairly certain I missed a gray border here. Or maybe not. Ryan Blaney Elite Series and Martin Truex Optic will get us halfway through box 10. Alright, our last 12 packs. All right, here we go. Thanks again. Hopefully we get something decent. Larson, Gray. Blaney, Under the Lights, and Keselowski, Optic Race Kings. Custer, Gray. Petty, Power Squad, Todd Gilliland, Silver. Brad out of 299. 188 out of 299 here for Brad. As this is revved up. Custer on the Optic. Kurt Busch, Gray. Truex, Power Squad is 67 out of 199. Austin Dillon, Optic. Blaney, Gray. Stewart, Power Squad, DW, Optic. Petty, 88 out of 199. Metal Masters for Harvick, Truex on the silver. Almirola, our final relic. Another tire, 90 out of 250 for Eric. And again, congrats, Robert. Bernard, Gray. Kyle Busch is unleashed with Tyler Reddick on the Optic. Race Kings, Almirola. Elite for Truex, Stenhouse on the Optic. Enfinger, 177 out of 299. Under the Lights for Richard Petty and Stewart on the Optic. Josh Berry, Gray. Jake Drew, silver. There's that unleashed for Denny. Almirola, Gray. Christopher Bell, Elite. Hemrick, Optic. And a last pack out of our 10 boxes. Going to be a green Petty, 15 out of 99. With an Under the Lights Denny Hamlin and an Optic Kyle Busch. And that shall conclude the break. Cleaning up here just a bit. Then we'll get a recap going. Organize some of the numbers here a little bit better than what I had them. Alright. Not a whole lot of hotness, I don't think, here. Some decent cards, but I don't know. I personally was expecting for more than what we got. But out of the 99s, LeBay, Almirola, Jimmy, Tanner, Haley, Brandon Jones, Almirola, Parker Chase, and Petty. See here, purples out of 49. Harvick, Jr., Ty Gibbs, Riley Herbst, Dale Jarrett, Jack Wood, Sam Mayer, Chase, Rhodes, and Logano. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Bailey. Have a good night. Then we got Enfinger out of 25. These are all the hot pinks. Bubba Wallace and Allgaier. Everybody there out of 25. Other numbered stuff. Junior out of 75. The top right corner. Come factory modified. It's not too bad when you look at it face, but there was a little ding on the top right corner here. 22 out of 75 for Junior. And a Power Squad out of 25 for Larson. And we had a couple out of this worlds. Suarez and Danica. And the Jimmy personalities on the anniversary. Alright, our rubber. Out of 250, Eric Jones. Keselowski out of 250. Bubba. Larson was a fire suit patch out of 25. Bowman out of 250. Logano out of 250. Eric Jones. Christopher Bell out of 250. Gregson is out of 250. Austin Cindric. And we got Almirola out of 250. Chris Buescher. Eric Jones, 250. Christopher Bell. Almirola out of 250. Cindric. And Brandon Jones. Last couple of relics. Josh Berry out of 250. Eric Jones. Brandon Jones. And Chris Buescher. Alright, our autos not standing up. Ty Gibbs is out of 99. Kevin Harvick. Kyle Busch is out of 49. Keselowski is out of 49. Justin Allgaier out of 99. Josh Berry. Chastain is out of 99. And Ty Gibbs out of 99. That being said, not a whole lot of autos on the showcase. Had a badge of honor for Jeff Gordon. Blank slate for Chase Elliott. Couple of Brightinger autos out of 99, each of these guys. Blackouts had 3 of these. Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, and Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs did all right tonight. Couple of watercolors. Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman. And there was a couple of Unleashed out of 10s. Ross Chastain and Christopher Bell. So, alright, well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the bids. Sorry it wasn't any better than what it was. I'm kind of disappointed in actually how it turned out, but I guess that's how it goes from time to time. I should have these out to you no later than Wednesday. And if you're interested, Tuesday is a full case of Donrus, 20 boxes. The only caveat is it's a pick your driver, but no base is going to ship. The base is going to go on its own lot. So any of the white paper cards will not ship. But all the optics, inserts, gray borders, anything but the generic white paper will go, and that'll be a full case. So I guess with that, it's enough for me for tonight. Y'all have a good evening. Good luck on your next break. Hopefully it's better than this